The day I realized I was nothing more than a servant in my own house was the day something inside me quietly broke, and something far more dangerous began to grow. I still remember that night so clearly. The chandeliers were glowing, the house smelled like expensive perfume and rich food, and laughter echoed through the halls, but none of it belonged to me. I stood in the corner, holding a tray of drinks, my hands slightly shaking, while my own family, my own people, laughed at me like I was invisible. "She doesn't deserve any respect," my aunt whispered loudly, not even bothering to lower her voice. "We gave her a roof, food. What more does she want?" They all laughed, and I stood there, smiling politely, like a stranger in someone else's life. But what they didn't know, what none of them even imagined, was that I wasn't weak. I was just waiting. I wasn't always like this. I wasn't always the quiet girl who kept her head down and followed orders like a shadow. There was a time when I used to laugh freely, when I believed family meant love, when I thought I belonged. My parents died when I was young, a car accident. One moment they were there, and the next, they were gone. I didn't even get to say goodbye. After that, I was taken in by my uncle and his family. At first, everything seemed okay. They spoke softly, they told people they were taking care of the poor orphan, and everyone praised them for their kindness. But kindness has a way of disappearing when no one is watching. It started small, little things. I was asked to help in the kitchen more than the others. Then I was told to clean, then to cook, then to serve guests. My cousins wore designer clothes, went to expensive schools, and lived like royalty. And me, I wore their old clothes. I ate after everyone else. I slept in a small room near the kitchen. And slowly, without even realizing it, I became the servant of the house. But the worst part wasn't the work. It was the way they looked at me. Like I didn't matter. Like I wasn't even human. Every day, I swallowed my pride. Every insult, every humiliation, every cold glance, I kept it all inside. Because I had nowhere else to go. Or at least, that's what they thought. One night, everything changed. I was cleaning my uncle's study when I found something I was never supposed to see. A file. It was hidden in a locked drawer, but someone had forgotten to close it properly. I don't know why, but something inside me told me to look. And when I did, my hands started shaking. It wasn't just papers. It was documents, property papers, bank statements, legal files. My name was on them. Not just my name, my parents' names. And then I saw it. A will. My father's will. I could barely breathe as I read it. According to the document, everything. Our house, our land, our money, everything had been left to me. Not to my uncle, not to anyone else. To me. My vision blurred as the truth hit me like a storm. They weren't taking care of me. They had taken everything from me. My uncle had hidden the will. He had taken control of my parents' property. And he had kept me here, treating me like a servant, while living off what was supposed to be mine. That night, I didn't cry. For the first time in years, I didn't cry. I just sat there, staring at the papers, feeling something new grow inside me. Not sadness, not fear, something colder, something sharper, anger. But I didn't confront them. Not yet. No. I did something much smarter. I pretended I didn't know anything. The next few weeks, I acted exactly the same. Quiet, obedient, invisible. But inside, I was changing. I started observing everything, listening carefully, watching their habits, learning their weaknesses. And slowly, I began to plan. One day, my cousin Ria, who loved to humiliate me the most, threw a glass of juice on my dress in front of her friends. "Oops," she laughed. "Servants should know their place." Her friends giggled. I smiled. "Of course," I said softly. But inside, I made a promise. "You'll regret this." They all will. A few days later, I secretly contacted a lawyer. It wasn't easy. I had no money, no connections, but I had something more powerful: truth. When I showed him the documents, his expression changed immediately. "Do they know you have this?" he asked. I shook my head. "Good," he said. "Don't tell them yet." That's when the real game began. The lawyer helped me gather more evidence. We uncovered years of fraud, illegal transfers, and forged signatures. Everything my uncle had built was based on a lie, and I was about to destroy it. But I didn't want just justice. I wanted them to feel what I felt: betrayal, humiliation, powerlessness. So I waited. The perfect moment came during a grand party they hosted. Important guests, business partners, relatives, everyone was there. It was the same kind of party where I used to stand in the corner, invisible. But this time, things were different. I walked into the hall wearing a simple but elegant dress. For once, I didn't look down. I didn't hide. People noticed. Whispers started. "Isn't that... who is she?" My uncle looked confused. My aunt looked annoyed. Ria looked furious. "What are you doing here?" she snapped. I smiled. "Living in my house," I replied calmly. They laughed, but not for long, because a few minutes later, my lawyer walked in, and everything exploded. He started speaking loudly, clearly, confidently, revealing the truth in front of everyone. The will, the fraud, the stolen property, the lies. At first, people didn't believe it. Then they saw the documents. Then they saw my uncle's face. And just like that, everything changed. The same people who once praised him started whispering. The same family who mocked me stood frozen in shock. Ria's face turned pale. "This is a lie," she screamed. But her voice sounded weak, because deep down, she knew. The truth had finally come out. And this time, I wasn't invisible anymore. In the following weeks, everything collapsed for them. Legal cases, financial losses, the cars. And me? It was the moment my aunt came to me, her voice trembling, asking for help. The same woman who once said I didn't deserve respect was now standing in front of me, begging. And for a second, I thought about everything. All the pain, all the humiliation, all the nights I cried alone. I could have turned away, because I wasn't like them. But then I added, not when they lost everything. Today, I live in the same house. But it feels different now. I'm the girl they underestimated. The girl who turned their cruelty into strength.